As we speak, the world's richest man, Elon Musk, has full access to the U.S. Treasury federal payment system, and Democrats are ringing the alarm bell. Take a look.
Before our very eyes, an unelected shadow government is conducting a hostile takeover.
Okay, they're doing
a hostile takeover.
Yeah, they're doing this insurrection mess again. Yeah, they're giving out false impressions what's going on. He's just auditing the book to see where all our tax dollars are going. Yeah, that's the only thing that's happening. This is the #1 tactic of Democrats: fear-mongering. Fear-mongering. Yep.
Of the federal government.
This is the most corrupt administration in our history, and it's putting our economy, our government, and our most at-risk communities in serious jeopardy.
You know what? The message in at risk, when they say at risk, they talking about black people, Latino people. They giving them the minorities. Yeah, they scaring minorities. Oh man, this is actually happening. Yeah. They got my social security number. They got my bank account. Yeah. Oh man, they gonna come after me. That's the message they about to push.
Now have full access to your personal and financial information that's in the system, your payment history, your social.
Hey, so she's trying to paint this picture that Elon Musk is going to do some credit fraud and identity theft, or people going to be coming to these people's houses persecuting them because of their political beliefs. Yeah, but she's making it sound like identity theft is going to be a problem because of Elon Musk. Exactly. Yeah.
Security number, your bank account numbers. Elon now has the power to suck out all of that information for his own use.
For its own use.
The White House, however, is claiming that they're keeping his power in check. Take a look.
Mr. President, why is it important for Elon Musk to have access to the payment systems at Treasury?
Well, he's got access only to letting people go that he thinks are no good if we agree with him, and it's only if we agree with him. He's a very talented guy from the standpoint of management and costs. Elon can't do and won't do anything without our approval. And we'll give him the approval where appropriate. Where not appropriate, we won't. He's running, obviously, a big company. It has nothing to do if there's a conflict that we won't let him get near it. But he does have a good natural instinct. He's got a team of very talented people, and we're trying to shrink government. And he can probably shrink it as well as anybody else, if not better.
Yeah, he's trying to shrink our government.
I mean, are Americans going to be okay with Musk? Oh, okay.
So you think your audience is a good metric for America? Yeah. Look at Alyssa. Look at Alyssa. Look at Alyssa. She like, oh yeah, I know what you're doing. You gaslighting again. Yeah. She's got, wow, you're gaslighting again. That's the face she's making. Good old Alyssa right here.
A guy nobody voted for having all this kind of power. And you know...
Hey, can you stop it? Hey, did anybody vote for Kamala? Did anybody vote for Kamala? Hey, Kevin, she's talking about nobody voted for him. Y'all didn't have the same energy for George Soros. Yeah. Where was that? Where was this energy then? Exactly. Oh, he's for y'all Democrats, huh? Yeah.
News outlet Wired found out that at least 6 of the gentlemen on Elon Musk's team are between the ages of 19 to 24 with little or no government experience, and one is in college. I mean,
you know what those people have experience in? You're right. They probably have absolutely no experience in government, but they have experience in accounting, cost accounting. That's probably what they are experts in. They know how to shred excess spending. Hey, we got 18-year-olds that join the military and we send them off to die every day. Yeah. So what's your point? Yeah.
Who are these people and why do they have access to any of your business?
Well, they don't. What they're doing is actually illegal. Everyone knows that the separation of powers allows for Congress to decide. They have the power of the purse. This is money that was already allocated from taxpayer money. Yeah. And to stop it is actually there was an act passed in 1974, right? I think it was the Impoundment Control Act, because they feared Nixon was blocking programs where Congress had already approved funds because he didn't like them. So it's beyond Elon Musk. Donald Trump doesn't have the power to do what he's doing right now, but I wonder where the screaming is, because Donald Trump floods the zone. We talked about how the last couple weeks has felt like a year. It's only been a couple weeks.
Shut up. She's talking about this money's been already allocated for spending. What do you talk about? All the money's already spent. The money they spending, it's not coming from the taxpayers. They already spent that money.
Yeah.
They're printing this money.
Yeah, it's over. We're overspending.
Yeah, and not only when they print this money, inflation goes up.
Right.
Our dollar's worth nothing.
But the thing is this.
So what is she talking about? It's coming from taxpayers. Taxpayers' money's already spent. Gone. They're printing this money.
36 trillion in debt. But what I want to say is this. It's nothing wrong. What they're doing is not illegal. Like you said, they've already spent this money. We're taking a look at the books to see where all the money is going.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's nothing wrong with that. That is not illegal.
What is wrong? AK, what's wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
This money's already been allocated. It's already gone. It's been spent. It's been sent. It's been used for.
What they're doing is determining where this money is being spent. Why? And do we really need to spend this money for that? That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And what he's doing is
by the way.
2 weeks. He's,
Look at Alyssa smiling.
ending DEI, the immigration raids that they aired out all over television, started a trade war. But meanwhile, this is the thing people should keep their eye on, because this flies in the face of our Constitution. And that's where people should be enraged.
Yeah.
I think
They always talk about the constitutional Republicans. Like we don't believe in the Constitution. Y'all the ones letting all these people come in the country illegally, give them welfare, put them up in hotels.
Yeah, look at
and
all
you
the
talk about we're against the Constitution.
Yeah, man, think about the billions of dollars we spent and these people coming here for room and board, for food, to get here.
It's in the trillions.
It's got to be.
It's got to be, because they can't speak the language. Where they going to go? Where they going to work? Where they going to stay? You got to house them. You got to feed them. You got to pay them money each month. They got kids. They need medical care. I mean, it's in the trillions what these people are costing us.
Yeah.
And Trump supporters, they're against the Constitution. What you talking about?
I think this is what he's doing. You know, I've given so much thought to it when we first started learning about Elon Musk now being a special government employee, which means he has top security clearance, but he doesn't have the obligations that a full federal employee has. So he doesn't have to give the same amount of disclosures. He has less conflicts of interest. And it seems to me that when I put my legal hat on, what Donald Trump is trying to do is he's trying to expand the powers of the executive branch. We all know, or we should know in this country, that there are 3 co-equal branches of government. You got
So what are you talking about? We have a separation of powers.
Right.
Right?
Right.
It keeps your president from becoming a dictator.
Right.
We're a republic.
Right.
So what? Okay, let's let her finish.
Who are they, Sonny?
Okay, so you've got the judicial branch, you've got the executive branch, and you've got the legislative branch. The legislative branch is the branch that Sarah was just talking about, which is Congress, right? So you've got the House and Senate, power of the purse. What he is trying to do is trying to figure out how he can expand his power, the power of the executive branch, and have a little more power over Congress. And he certainly has kind of a bit of power over the judicial branch, because the top of the judicial branch is the Supreme Court, which he has packed with loyalists. So in my view, I think he's causing a constitutional crisis intentionally.
What are you talking about? You just said there's a separation of powers. A constitutional crisis? Yeah, for Democrats. Y'all said we're enforcing the Constitution.
He said he packed the Supreme Court with loyalists. Y'all put in a black woman, and she don't even know what a woman is.
Yeah, she's a token. That's why she got that job. Loyalist. At least his loyalists are actual judges and not activists.
So that this goes to the Supreme Court. And if the Supreme Court, ladies and gentlemen, say, yeah, he can do this, our Constitution, as we've known it, is basically going to change forever. It will not be the Constitution that the framers...
Stop it. He ain't doing nothing. He just audited the books. He's not doing it. He just audited the books to see where all the money's been spent on. There's nothing wrong with that. What are you talking about? He hasn't did anything. He's not taking funds away. He's looking how the money's spent, and then he's going to make cuts accordingly, based on what his administration wants to pay for. I'm going to read some of these comments real quick. This is The View. This is their TikTok. DEMS are in panic mode. It's hilarious watching all of this unfold. Popcorn hasn't tasted any better.
This is what terrified corruption looks like. We the people want to know where our taxpayer money is going. The corrupt will always cry.
Yeah.
Mad because they're about to be exposed. Trump, baby. How are you getting like dragged on your own comments on your own TikTok? Getting dragged.
Yeah.
If the money isn't going where it's supposed to go, then somebody needs to stop it.
Yeah.
Better someone that doesn't need it than someone who does, right? Wait till Elon gets his hands in NASA auditing. They are scared. I'm happy as... No, he's calling out all the BS and spin. How y'all getting dragged in your own comments? That's like coming to my YouTube channel. I do a YouTube video about a topic, and my fans are just dragging me.
Yeah.
You know what it is? Y'all don't have no fans. I don't even know why you're on TV.
Yeah.
Y'all just have people like trolling you on your own social media.
Yeah. You can't, this show can't be that popular if if the majority of the comments sound like they're right leaning or, you know, for the most part, common sense, because the only thing that DOGE is doing is making sure we ain't wasting our tax dollars. That's the only thing they're doing.
Look, I need to do something. Stop holding little press conferences and do something. So funny they didn't mind it when Joe Biden could not be president and somebody else was.
Yeah.
They actually think Joe Biden was the president when he was president. I've never felt better or safer. Why are people afraid of a government audit?
Look at this moron. Is this now rule for impeachment?
Is this now?
I don't know if she's being sarcastic.
She probably is.
Yeah.
Somebody liked it.
Yeah, look, it is very frightening. It's got a Canadian leaf.
Look, only in America. There's some of their fans chopping in. All right, come on.
Our country
cracking up.
thought of.
Right.
Well, it kind of feels like if a tree falls in the woods and no one hears it, did it even fall? In that Congress also has to fight back and want to reclaim the power of the purse. And Congress really has two primary authorities, declaring war and the power of the purse in the House. They've completely ceded authorization of use of military force to the executive branch for decades. But now, even Republicans who support Trump's agenda, what even is the purpose of being in Congress if things that you vote for, that you work on, could be just completely thrown out the window by the president? And executive overreach isn't anything new. Previous presidents have done it. But this is unlike anything we've seen. And I'll say this. Republicans have always believed in shrinking the size of government. We've believed in cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, and streamlining agencies when we can, auditing agencies when we can. But what I'm struck by is it's unclear what's being audited, what's being written out, what we're taking funding from. One example, I would argue one of the most successful government programs in American history, PEPFAR, which basically has saved 25 million lives in Africa with AIDS and HIV medication. And it's also soft power for us to compete with China and have influence there. We don't know if it's operationally working right now because of how unclear these orders have been. Senator Cassidy has talked about it. So the White House owes America clarity. They need to say, are we doing away with USAID or are we moving it under the State Department? Are we doing away with the Department of Education? That's something that is in the press right now that might be next on the chopping block. There is a way to streamline and to cut funding, and then there's doing away with congressional. Well, they could vote on it. They have all the power right now.
And let's not forget, USAID advances national security, works to protect human rights and improve global health. The agency is funded by taxpayer dollars, authorized by Congress. No one said to us, hey, we looked at this in the last 2 weeks, and we've decided that this isn't a good idea. What do you think? And the last thing I'm going to say is that in 2023, USAID was less than 1% of the federal budget. So why?
Okay. How much is the federal budget?
It's trillions.
So what is 1% of trillions? That's a lot of money, right?
Yeah. That's another left wing.
So what's her argument? It's less than one.
It's only one.
It's only one spit. If it's wasted, it's okay.
Why they're going after that?
Well, can I say something about that? You know, we all talked about how Marco Rubio heading, the State Department or being the Secretary of State, he was so supremely qualified. And that was one of the good cabinet choices that was made. Well, he has installed an assistant, sort of the second in command in the state. His name is Beatty, I believe is his last name.
He's an undersecretary.
He's the undersecretary. I hope we have a clip of what of his text. He has said that white men need to be in charge of everything rather than anyone else. And there are about 4 to 5, and he's been saying this on X for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And so there are years and years of his bigotry on display. And Marco Rubio thinks that that person is appropriate to be his undersecretary and also to have a hand in U.S. aid. So I'm very concerned.
I need to see the context of what she's talking about. But it makes sense. Do you want black people running this country? But I don't think there's somebody said we need white men running this.
Yeah, I know, but it's probably more likely, Keith. He said it. It was probably years ago. It's probably being taken out of context. But if you really think about it,
okay,
he's not lying.
On time, but very quickly on that, this is an individual who was fired from the first Trump administration for attending a white nationalist rally.
Yeah.
The very position he's holding in an acting capacity was held by 2 very qualified and competent women in the previous Trump term. To me, it underscores how different this term will be than the first one, and I think people need to pay attention.
Well, what you really need to know is this is not new. This visual that you're seeing is not new. When I was a little girl, that's kind of what Washington looked like. Those are the folks that were in. At one point, we had the dragon, one of the head dragons.
Oh, yes, the KKK.
We've had this is not new.
Yeah.
What is going to be new is if we stop paying attention.
Yeah.
That's going to be new, because the thing that got Americans moving was they didn't like that system. That system didn't work. So we worked and tried to get women where they needed to be, people of color where they.
Y'all put men in women's restrooms. Y'all put
800 million illegal immigrants in this country.
Y'all put men in women's prisons.
Yeah, everybody in America's paying attention to what's going on. That's why they voted for white supremacy again.
You're being sarcastic.
I'm being sarcastic and being facetious. Y'all still trying to paint Trump supporters as white supremacists.
And Republicans, yeah.
That is crazy.
What's that one movie? Loser.